Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At the risk of offending the ranking member by talking about the past, I was informed by a gentleman in Australia a couple of months ago of a interesting film that had been created here in the United States that I did not know about. And with your permission, sir, I would show this short film to you.
Permission is absolutely granted.
Thank you, sir. This is a confluence of divergent times and disciplines. 42 years ago, Apollo 11 landed on the moon, and this image that you see in front of you shows the last 3.5 minutes of what that trajectory looked like over the actual craters that it flew. At the same time, a new technology appeared. This was Google Earth. Some of you have observed your own house on Google Earth. There was a version of this called Google Moon, and it allowed you to investigate the moon on your own computer and go where you'd like to see. A gentleman in Georgia, astronomer by trade, took images from our most recent lunar exploring satellite, the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, which was launched 2 years ago with very good optics to completely map the surface of the moon with high-quality images with resolutions of 1/2 to 1 meter. The gentleman took the images from the LRO, the Lunar Reconnaissance Observer, and patched them together using Google Moon. Google Moon allows you to take a perspective of the picture. This picture, the image in front of you, is a perspective, but all the images taken by the satellite are vertical, straight down. So Google allows you to take a vertical image and convert it to a perspective as you see on this image. The gentleman patched together a myriad of images from different orbits of the LRO that passed over the trajectory of the Apollo 11 descent and recreated the descent in a perspective mode. The oh, okay. So what we will, the actual descent was 12.5 minutes. This is the last 3.5 minutes. It starts about 3,000 feet in altitude and continues all the way down to the surface. Let's go to the next slide, please.
Eagle looking great.
Okay. On the left side of the screen, you will see the image that was taken by the 16mm movie camera located in a bracket in the right-hand window of the lunar module Eagle. And it shows the picture that has often been used in anyone who made films about what happened on Apollo 11 and the lunar descent. The right-hand picture is composed of images from LRO in the last 2 years and recreated the descent. So you see in the right-hand side of the picture an image that accurately reflects what the crew, what we in the Lunar Module Eagle actually saw while we were going down. So the picture on the left is a rectangle that's skewed at 45 degrees roughly, because that's the way it was mounted in the window. And it's partly blocked by structure of the lunar module, so it has a very limited field of view. The picture on the right shows the same angular area that covered by the model, covered by the motion picture on the right. So you can compare the little crater on the left to the crater on the left. Let's see. That crater is the same as this crater here, and that crater is the one that's there. And you'll be able to see those comparison craters as you go down the trajectory all the way to the surface. Okay, so let's start the video.
Here go.
You'll hear the sounds of my
16.
co-pilot giving me numbers, and you'll hear ground control at Houston
1,400
responding
feet,
to our actions. We're descending at a rate of about 3,000 feet a minute.
35 degrees. 35 degrees. 750.
We've had
coming down to 23.
computer warnings
700 feet, 21
rather
down, 33
frequently.
degrees.
But we're continuing
100
on
feet down to
autopilot.
19.
The autopilot tells us that we are going
540 feet down to
to the
30 and a 15.
the autopilot is going to land us close to the rim of that large crater. I don't want to go there. It's
400
steep
feet down to
sides,
9.
and we're flying over
Gate forward.
field of large boulders about the size of automobiles.
150 feet
Not
down
a
at
good
4.
place to land at all.
30
We tried to
feet
go out
down.
about a mile further to the west and find a smooth and level landing spot.
They're horizontal velocity.
There's more
300 feet down, 3.5.
More computer
47
alarms.
forward.
but we're getting used to those by now.
And one and a half down.
We see a crater coming up now on the top of the screen. It's about 30 meters across, about 100 feet.
50 down and
And
2.5.
that's not good,
19
but there
forward.
looks like some level spots beyond that are
Altitude
look good.
velocity light.
Are running low on fuel because we're running, we've extended our flight
15
plan,
forward.
our trajectory past the intended landing
11 forward,
spot,
coming down
but we
nicely,
still have
200
about a
feet.
minute of fuel
4.5
left,
down.
and that
5.5 down.
is, we consider that to be adequate. That's a good-looking crater, and
6.5 down.
I want to go
5.5
back there
down.
and have a look at that
9
if I get a
forward.
chance later, and in fact I did.
Good.
Those,
20 feet.
the landing areas right ahead
100
looks
feet,
pretty good. There's
3.5
little
down,
craters
9
in there,
forward.
but they look manageable.
5%.
So we're coming down low to the surface and starting to kick up a little dust at this point. You can see that in the left-hand
looking
side,
good, down a
but of
half.
course the
6
satellite
forward.
picture on the right from 2 years ago doesn't show blowing dust.
60 seconds. Lights on.
Not yet.
Down 2.5.
Now we're getting down very low to the surface.
Forward. Forward.
Moving dust is increasing.
That's
Uh,
40 feet down 2.5. Picking up some dust.
There you see the shadow
3
of our
feet,
lunar
2.5
landing leg
Big shadow.
in the bottom of our spacecraft,
4 forward.
approaching the surface.
4 forward. Drifting to the right.
And
Ready? Down a half.
it's
30 seconds. Forward. Good. Ready? Contact light. Okay, engine stop. We copy you down, Eagle. Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
so.
Yay!
What you see here, Mr. Chairman, is one of the actual vertical pictures taken of the spot where we landed. And of course, what you see is the descent stage of the Eagle. It contains the rocket engine that we used for the descent, the fuel for that engine, and the landing legs and some of our scientific equipment, which we left behind on the moon. a view into history through the views of modern technology. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All those up here helped you land it just now. And if you have further, I won't count that against your 5 minutes. If you have anything else you want to tell us.
Thank you, sir. Chairman Hall, Ranking Member Johnson, members of the committee, thank you so much for giving me the invitation and the opportunity to present my perspective on the state of the American human space exploration efforts. This past year has been frustrating for NASA observers as they tried to understand NASA's plans and progress. The NASA leadership enthusiastically assured the American people that the agency was indeed embarking on an exciting new age of discovery in the cosmos. But the realities of the termination of the shuttle program, the cancellation of the existing launching rocket and spacecraft programs, the layoffs of thousands of aerospace workers, the outlook for American space activity throughout the next decade was difficult to reconcile with the agency assertions. After this initial proposed cancellation of Constellation Ares launchers and Orion and Altair spacecraft early last year, this committee and other representatives, senators, and concerned citizens worked diligently to find alternatives to the now missing essential elements of the U.S. space strategy. You were resolute in modifying the administration's proposed 5-year study of heavy lift rockets and changed to the immediate initiation of its design and construction. And you observed the metamorphosis of the canceled Orion first into a ill-conceived crew rescue vehicle and thereafter into a potentially very useful multi-purpose crew vehicle. So much has been accomplished, but NASA, hobbled by cumbrous limitations, has been unable to articulate a master plan that excites the imagination and provides a semblance of predictability to the aerospace industry. We will have no American access to, nor return from, low Earth orbit and the International Space Station for an unpredictable time in the future. For a country that has invested so much for so long to achieve a leadership position in space exploration and exploitation, this condition is viewed by many as lamentably embarrassing and unacceptable. The severe reductions in space activity have caused substantial erosion in many critical technical areas and are creating negative economies of scale cost increases throughout the aerospace industry. Most importantly, public policy must be guided by the recognition that we live in a technology-driven world where progress is rapid and unstoppable. Our choices are to lead, try to keep up, or get out of the way. A lead, however earnestly and expensively won, once lost, is very difficult and expensive to regain. The key to the success of American investment in space is a clearly articulated plan and strategy supported by the administration and Congress and implemented with the consistency or all the consistency that the vagaries of the budget will allow. Such a program will motivate the young toward excellence, support a vital industry, and earn the respect of the world. Some significant progress has been achieved during the past year. However, NASA, with insufficient resources, continues to try to fulfill the directives of the administration and the mandates of the Congress, and the result is a fractious process that satisfies neither. The absence of a comprehensive plan that is understood and supported by government, industry, academia, and society as a whole frustrates everyone. NASA itself, riven with conflicting forces and the dashed hopes of canceled programs, must find ways of restoring hope and confidence to a confused and disconsolate workforce. The reality that there is no requirement for a NASA spacecraft commander for the foreseeable future is obvious and painful to all who have justifiably taken great pride in NASA's wondrous spaceflight achievements of the past half-century. Winston Churchill famously stated, "Americans will always do the right thing after they've exhausted all the alternatives." And in spaceflight, we're in the process of exhausting alternatives. I'm hopeful that in the near future we'll be doing the right thing. And I thank the committee very much for giving me this opportunity to thank you for all you do to advance American spaceflight. Thank you.